All right, guys. So we got a good one for you today. And it's going to be a little bit of a doozy if you out here a little bit alone for the season because this is an episode about love and independence. And I've actually had this kind of topic put into perspective for you guys before, but I want to kick it to you kind of new because as I see now the divide between us, and I mean loving relationships between men and women, it is clear that we just don't understand one another. So as we get back into this, I just want you guys, if you can, hit that like button for me, hit the subscribe button. And this is your boy Juice, so let's squeeze the best out of life and jump right on into this. So, right, you know, I want to be here to help you, and this topic is really going to press you through a lot of stuff, but once you get it, it's going to make the best part of your life. So today we're going to get into dating and asking ourselves, what do we really need to set aside to truly grow and find happiness? So have you ever felt like the push and pull of independence and romance is a battle you just can't win? Well, trust me, you're not alone at all because I talk to these people each and every day, and I find it that the media tries to push one narrative, and the real culmination that we need to find is with one another, not about what is advertised. So today we're going to talk about balancing independence and the real work that relationships demand, especially for an independent woman craving their own paths, okay? So grab a drink, lean back, and let's get into it. Priorities versus relationship needs. That's going to be number one. So let's talk about priorities. If you're an independent woman, you're focused on your career, your personal growth, and that financial freedom, relationships can feel like a time suck or you don't got time for it. The American Time Survey right now, so this is just a little facts for y'all. The American Time Survey backs this up. People in relationships often spend less time in career-related activities and more on household stuff. Here's the conflict, though. Success takes focus, but so does your love. And at some point, we're going to have to ask, are we willing to reprioritize for something bigger than ourselves? Now, that doesn't mean giving up on your dreams. It means making space for somebody who might complement them. Relationships, when done right, when healthy, don't stifle your growth. No, instead, they help you to evolve and grow in ways that you never could thought possible. So, two, what is it? This emotional dependence and financial independence, right? Because this is where and all of this stuff is questions I'm posing to you all, and I really want you guys to drop down in these comments so that way we can discuss each and every topic. But now let's keep it real. Emotional dependence is truly tricky. A study out in Illinois shows that independent women do not tolerate emotional dependency in their partners. And get that, but here's the thing, depending on someone emotionally doesn't mean you're weak. A strong relationship actually allows you to lean on each other. It's not losing your independence. No, it's creating a balance between people where you can stand strong together. And then now there's the financial independence, where we all know now money is power. 56% of women in a Fidelity study have said being single gave them more financial freedom. So here's the question though, ladies. Is the money working for you or is it working to keep you isolated? A partner who values you will never threaten your financial freedom. No, they'll help you build up and make it better. But now the question is more so, do you feel like you will be comfortable enough to allow somebody in so that you could grow something? because I see so many boss bays and all of this other stuff alone now on Instagram, when I find there's so much more joy and love and care when you see the family photos, because everybody is trying to chase the dream, but just remember that that dream didn't come alone. All right, so now we got to get to the part where it becomes decision making. All right, because this is all questions I'm really posing to you. So this is where the rubber really meets the road. Independent people, and now again, this is not just to the ladies, but independent people are used to calling their own shots, and in being in a relationship, it's a team sport. So a survey out of eHarmony found that really independent, and now this is where we're going to get into a little bit. Independent women tend to struggle with compromise, but teamwork isn't about losing yourself. It's about finding solutions together. And don't even get me started on personal space, okay? 31% of all couples sleep in separate beds, so just so they can get a decent shut-eye. Sharing your space doesn't mean giving up your peace. It's about learning to coexist without suffocating one another. So that's where I have to ask you guys, what are you really willing to do to make a relationship work when sometimes and I had a video about, getting to the best version of yourself and how you can conquer anything. But you really need to journal what it is that you're actually looking for and see where you're either not compromising or you're just saying that you're cutting people off because they're not meeting your standards. And you can actually draw those lines in conclusion when you write these things down. So that's going to segue us right in, because once you know those things, it's all about communication and not having this fear of losing your independence. So I want to touch on this communication part really quick, because studies show that most independent women often communicate assertively. And hey, man, listen, I'm all here, but there's a time and a place for it. So let's face it, everyone's not ready for that kind of directness either. It isn't about sugarcoating who you are. It's about recognizing when to listen and when to speak, and when to adjust your tone without dimming your light. And lastly, the big one, the fear of losing your independence. So in the University of Nevada found that this fear stops many, many people from fully committing, especially when they've lived alone for over 5 years. And here's the real juice. You don't want to lose your independence in a healthy relationship. No, you want to share it. Love is not about control, and I can't say that enough. Love isn't about control. Love is freedom within a connection. I'm going to say that one more time for y'all. Love is about freedom within a connection. And the reason I had to say that twice for y'all is because the thought of what the media gives you on what a relationship is so darn toxic that it keeps you shying away from it. It keeps you from being vulnerable. It only makes us very contractual, only looking for somebody to fulfill whatever need that is at the forefront of our mind and our emotions. So what's the takeaway? Independence is powerful, but guess what? Relationships, when they're built on respect, trust, and shared goals, well, they're 10 times, guess what? They amplify that power. So it's not about giving up who you are. No, it's about being brave enough to grow in new ways. As we head out, y'all, I want y'all to think about this. Are you holding on to your independence so tightly that you're missing out on good connections? Or maybe it's time, maybe it's time to let go of that fear and let in love. And at my place of work, we say love more, everybody. So again, I want to thank you all for tuning in. This is your boy Juice on The Squeeze. And if this message hit home for you, please drop down in those comments below. Share this message with anyone you feel like needs to hear it. And hit that subscribe button for me. And as always, my good folks, live as long as you want. Never want as long as you live. And always squeeze the best juice out of life.
Dripology, nigga.